Geographical terms in climatology. Part 1. This video explains the important terms, definitions and meanings in the unit of climatology. Weather and climate. First, let's look at some terms in the topic of weather and climate. Weather. Weather is the atmospheric condition of a short period. Weather changes in time to time. The weather condition of a place varies from morning to afternoon. Climate. Climate is the average atmospheric condition of a long period of a specific place. Climate is the average atmospheric condition of 30 to 60 years. Air. Air is the mixture of gases. Air is composed of carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. Aerology. The systematic and scientific study of atmosphere is termed as aerology. Meteorology. The study of atmosphere is termed as meteorology. Now, let's see the terms in layers and structure of atmosphere. Atmosphere. The air around the Earth is called atmosphere. Composition of atmosphere. Atmosphere is composed of mixture of gases. The air is composed of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. Structure of atmosphere. The atmosphere consists of 5 layers, namely, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere and exosphere. Aerosols. The solid and liquid particles found in the atmosphere collectively known as aerosols. Troposphere. Troposphere is the lowest layer of atmosphere. It is found between the surface of the Earth and the stratosphere. It extends up to 8 kilometers to 18 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. Weather change is the major phenomenon here. Stratosphere. This atmospheric layer is found between the troposphere and mesosphere. It extends 30 kilometers height beyond the troposphere. Mesosphere. This layer is found in the altitude between 50 and 80 kilometers from the Earth's surface. The layer is free from disturbances and useful for air transport. The layer is rich in ozone. Ionosphere. The ionosphere is found in the altitudes between 80 and 900 kilometers from the Earth's surface. The layer is rich in ions and helpful for communications. Exosphere. The layer beyond the ionosphere is known as exosphere. This layer is the way to space. This layer is called upper atmosphere. Ozonosphere. Ozonosphere is found in 30 and 60 kilometers height from the Earth's surface. It is rich in ozone. The layer is known as chemosphere also. Tropopause. Tropopause is the imaginary line, separates troposphere and stratosphere. Stratopause. Stratopause is the imaginary line, separates stratosphere and mesosphere. Mesopause. Mesopause is the imaginary line, separates mesosphere and exosphere. Thermosphere. Thermosphere extends from 80 to 640 kilometers height from the Earth's surface. It is rich in ions. Here the temperature rapidly increases with increasing altitude. The layer consists of 2 layers, namely ionosphere and exosphere. Magnetosphere. The atmospheric layer beyond 500 kilometers from the Earth's surface is the magnetosphere. The magnetosphere influences the magnetic field of the Earth. Homosphere. Troposphere, stratosphere and mesosphere is together called as homosphere. Here the atmosphere is uniform in composition. Heterosphere. The layer beyond the homosphere is termed as heterosphere. The atmospheric composition is uneven here. Van Allen radiation belt. This belt extends 1,600 to 13,000 kilometers height from the Earth's surface. This sphere influences the magnetic field of the Earth by energetically charged particles. Now let's see the elements of the weather in this unit. Temperature. The amount or degree of heat is called temperature. Temperature is measured by Celsius or Fahrenheit units. Pressure. The force on a spot by the weight of the air termed as pressure. Pressure is measured by barometer. Isotherms. Isotherm is an imaginary line joins the places of equal temperature areas. Isobars. Isobar is an imaginary line joins the places of equal atmospheric pressure areas. Isohyates. Isohyate is an imaginary line joins the places of equal amount of rainfall areas. Isoles. Isole is an imaginary line joins the places of equal amount of sunshine areas. Isonephs. Isoneph is an imaginary line joins the places of equal amount of cloudiness areas. Beaufort scale. The Beaufort scale divides the speed of the wind by the numeric values. Wind are named by numbers according to their speed from 1 to 17. Altitude. Altitude is the height from the sea level. It is usually measured by meter or feet. Now, let's see the instruments used to measure the elements of weather. Thermometer. Thermometer is an instrument used to measure the atmospheric temperature. Barometer. Barometer is an instrument used to measure the atmospheric pressure. Hygrometer. Hygrometer is an instrument used to measure the relative humidity of the atmosphere. Altimeter. Altimeter is an instrument used to measure the altitude or height of an area from the mean sea level. Wind vane or weathercock. Wind vane is an instrument used to measure the direction of the wind. Rain gauge. Rain gauge is a simple instrument to measure the amount of rainfall. Anemometer. Anemometer is an instrument used to measure the direction of the wind. Evaporimeter. Evaporimeter is an instrument used to measure the rate and quantity of evaporation at the wet surface. Sunshine recorder. Sunshine recorder is an instrument used to measure the duration of sunshine of the day. Solarimeter. Solarimeter is an instrument used to measure the amount of solar radiation. Theodolite. Theodolite is a surveying instrument used to measure the angular distances. Now, let's see the processes occur in the atmosphere. Evaporation. Evaporation is the process of conversion of liquid into vapor. Condensation. Condensation is the process of conversion of vapor into liquid. Sublimation. Sublimation is the process of direct conversion of liquid into vapor. Conduction. Conduction is the process of heat transfer without any movement of substances. Convection. Convection is the process of heat transfer with the substances of air, liquid, vapor, etc. Radiation. Radiation is the process of transferring heat by electromagnetic waves. Scattering. The re-radiated solar energy into the atmosphere is termed as scattering. Insolation. The incoming solar radiation of the Earth is termed as insolation. Advection. The movement of air mass parallel to the surface of the Earth is termed as advection. Terrestrial radiation. The process of heat emitted from the surface of the Earth is termed as terrestrial radiation. Inversion of temperature. The reversal of the normal temperature in the atmospheric layer of troposphere is called inversion of temperature. Albedo of the Earth. The ratio of solar energy falls on non-luminous surface of the Earth to the reflection amount of solar energy from it termed as albedo of the Earth. Lapse rate. The temperature vary with the altitude is termed as lapse rate. Normal lapse rate. The temperature vary with the altitude is termed as lapse rate. The normal lapse rate is 6.5 Celsius. Adiabatic lapse rate. The changing rate of temperature in atmosphere with increasing altitude. Latent heat. Latent heat is the amount of heat energy transferred into the atmosphere due to the conversion of a substance from one form to another form. Heat balance. The relation between the absorbed and redirected solar energy by the vegetation and atmosphere is termed as heat balance. Heat budget. The sun emits energy in the form of radiation. 35% of the radiation is reflected back by the atmospheric particles to the space. 14% of the solar radiation is absorbed by the atmospheric particles. 51% of solar radiation is received by the Earth. Heat budget of the Earth is 51%. Diurnal range of temperature. The difference between the maximum and minimum temperature of a day is termed as diurnal range of temperature. Temperature anomaly. The difference between mean temperature of a place mean temperature of the latitude of the place is termed as temperature anomaly. Thermal current. The vertical movement of the air due to the difference in insolation and radiation is called thermal current. Thermal equator or heat equator. Thermal equator is an imaginary line joining the highest mean temperature of the places. Solar constant. The rate of solar energy reaches on the surface of the Earth is termed as solar constant. Air pollution. Mixing of impure and harmful elements with the air is called air pollution. Heat wave. Heat wave is the abnormal higher temperature of an area due to high rate of evaporation by above average temperature in summer. Cold wave. Cold wave is the rapid fall of temperature during winter. Saturation level or saturation point. The air can hold maximum amount of water vapor in a particular temperature and pressure in the atmosphere. This is called saturation level of the air. Dew point. The atmospheric temperature needs to condense the water droplets into dew is termed as dew point. Greenhouse gas. The gas which absorbs and emits radiant energy in the atmosphere is termed as greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide etc. are the greenhouse gases. Heat island. The temperature of an urbanized area is higher than the surrounding rural areas due to human activities. The isothermal lines look like islands in climatic map of the urban areas. This is called heat island. Midnight sun. The sunlight is visible around the Arctic regions during the summer nights. Norway is called the land of midnight sun. Dawn. Dawn is the visible light rays in the sky before the sunrise of a day. Twilight. Twilight is the visible light rays in the sky after the sunset of a day. Ultraviolet radiation. The sun emits ultraviolet rays. The ozone layer absorbs the ultraviolet rays. A particular amount of ultraviolet rays reach on the surface of the Earth. Ozone depletion. The ozone layer is weakened by the air pollution due to human activities. The destruction of ozone layer is called ozone depletion. Coriolis force. The rotation of the Earth deflects moving objects to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. Ferrel's law. The wind deflected to the right in the northern hemisphere and deflected to the left in the southern hemisphere due to the Coriolis effect. Water vapor. Water from the Earth's surface evaporates by heat. The evaporated matter present in the air in gaseous form called water vapor. Aurora borealis or northern lights. The northern light is visible at night around the regions of higher latitudes in northern hemisphere. Aurora australis or southern lights. The southern light is visible at night around the regions of higher latitudes in southern hemisphere.
Link is in description below. Please subscribe the channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.